Yo, what is up? Today we have something a little bit different. We will be doing our anniversary stream, and this will just entail about talking a lot of games that we played in 2024. And so, um, yeah, it has been a great year. Affiliate, we got it last year when we first played Crosscode, and um, we've only played around 12 to 13 games, so that's about like one game a month. But you know, I feel like that's poetic. There's like a new good game to play every single month, and I feel like that's just a reasonable place or pace. Um, you can play at, right? Doesn't feel overwhelming, um, and yeah. But as you can see here, there is a tier list, and there are exactly 12 games here that we'll be talking about today. This stream is sort of scripted. I only scripted like 6 of the 12 games, so the last few will just be off at the top of my head, but I will update a master sheet with all of the stuff inside that, yeah. But I feel like this year's quality of the games that we played have definitely been quite good. Like, in fact, some of them, I think a good amount of them are actually in my top 10 as well. So, lots of things to talk about, and yeah, it's been a great year. I believe we started off with Crosscode in January, and we are currently listening to the playlist right now, and we will basically go through most of these games in the order that we played them from January to December. And I'll give my thoughts about them. There are going to be just like a set of things that we're going to be talking about each time, and that will be the summary of the gameplay. We'll give like an overview of what the game consisted of, and maybe some how it was developed, some of the just like a good introduction to the game, right? Give you some like initial thoughts as well on what I thought about them. Next we go into like strengths, right? Some of the things that the game did well, and then some of the weaknesses, right? I gotta say, all of the games that are actually on here are in fact quality games. I really don't play like particularly bad games just for the memes. It is, I think, is a waste of time. So, I feel like it is an appropriate way to, talk about them. Anyways, okay. Let's see here. What else do we have? Strengths, weaknesses. We have favorite moments, right? When we were playing through the game, maybe there was like a particular moment that was extremely amazing compared to the rest of the game. So we'll talk about that. And favorite characters. Games are derived on characters for the most part. There are a couple games in here that just strictly don't have real characters. Actually, only like 1.5 does not have like characters, I guess. But yeah, favorite areas and levels. Stand out design in a certain area. Certain levels that were really fun to play. Very unique design. Stuff like that. We will sort of talk about as well. And I'm a big music fan. I love music. I've done music since however long now, and yeah, video game music is one of my favorite genres, so it is we will be talking about that extensively. I'll also be playing the soundtrack for whatever uh, game we're going to be talking about at the current moments, and we'll just be on in the background while we talk about it, and we'll listen or watch some footage of whatever game we are going to be playing. Um, so, you know, kind of get in the mood, and it's just going to be past footage from my streams. Funny enough, I don't have footage for Tunic and Fury, and they were, spoiler, they're probably two of my favorite games, so very unfortunate for some reason, but yeah. But yeah, we'll talk about that as well. All right. Shall we get to it? This is like 10 minutes. 10 minutes is a pretty good intro to what we're going to be doing today. So for anyone who wants to know, like, I guess we can put an agenda up. That would be very helpful. Let's do that. So these are our things. Let's set that as actually a command. This ain't TFT. Dude, it's an anniversary stream, man. TFT sucks. Hey, are you a diamond yet, buddy? I don't see you in diamond. Where have you been? Going 8th, man. That's what you've been doing. I need to update a command, actually. What? I think it's like Fossabot? Yeah, Fossabot. Let me add a anniversary command. Man, it wants me to get the code and stuff. That's annoying. Maybe we'll play some TFT after, but I don't know. I don't really want to play TFT on an anniversary. It's just not a... Compared to these games over here, the game kind of sucks, no? The game just kind of sucks. Alright. Let me... put up a new aniv command. Veg. Okay. Oh shit. Can't have new lines? Lame. I guess I have to doctor this real quick. We get ChatGPT to remove the Alright, there we go. For each title. Okay, and then... tier list, game... Alright. Control X here. And then, alright. Oh, shoot. Did it work? And it... Alright. Explanation mark Aniv. We'll do that. There we go. Let me edit the... There we go. Should be updated now. Okay. We get started. Let's do this, guys. We've got 12 titles to cover. And so I think each of them should roughly take like maybe like 20 minutes. So we'll be here for like an hour or so. A couple hours maybe. So yeah. Alright. Our first title that we played in January is Crosscode. Okay. First learned about this game from a good streamer friend, the Brungo. And he's a good college friend, and he has a good taste in games. And this was one of his favorites. And we just decided to give it a go. And boy, it is a good game. Let's see here. Alright. Alright, let's take a look at some gameplay. And we'll have at it. Okay, this is Crosscode. Crosscode is one of, I think, if not the best indie RPGs. It has gorgeous pixel art, stellar story, and I feel like it's just the complete package for indie games. If you're aspiring to make a game like this, this is like the high bar to reach. And this game was literally created in HTML5 and JavaScript. Just think about that. That is crazy. It's basically a giant web browser game. And as you can see, it's very well polished. Very fun game. I had a great time with this game. There's so much to say about it. It looks better than a lot of AAA titles. As you can see, this is the well, spoiler. This is the last puzzle of the I think of the main game, and it is a very complex puzzle. Um, and but really, really amazing game design. So you can see me walking through here. We are. It's just basically one big Rube Goldberg machine where you have to use all of these things, go through the giant puzzle, and yeah, you play as Leia, as you can see on the screen. She is a. Is this spoilery? I guess she's a virtual girl, and you know she's really cool. She's a silent protag because of the gimmick where she cannot speak because her voice mod is broken, which is quite interesting, right? And she travels through a vast game world, and meets these different people, meets these different players, right? This is basically like a game inside of a game type of deal. It's like a Ready Player One setting, and there are a bunch of regions you travel through. There's like an autumn region where you can like murder tons and tons of hedgehogs. There's like ice regions with killer snowman. There's like a desert region that's like taken straight out of Dune. It has like the sandworms and like complex desert sand areas, oases and caves and whatnot. And one thing I will say is the temples in this game, or the puzzle areas of the game, are insane, and they rival, if not are better. I think they are better, in my opinion, than Zelda Dungeons, which is a very, very high bar. The puzzles in this game, as you can see it, what is happening on screen, are sort of the most like complex puzzles in video games that I've played. And it's not just that the puzzles are complex. You have to sort of, there's like two parts of the puzzle: figuring out the puzzle and then executing the parts of the puzzle, right? So just because you know how to do something, if you can't actually have the ability to pull it off, you can't complete the puzzle. So here's me figuring out thinking about some of the stuff that goes on in this giant puzzle, and you know where to hit everything. And so lots of cool mechanics. It is a 2D RPG, so it all basically happens on one same plane, but it does have like 3D elements inside of it, which makes it quite visually appealing, to be sure, right? My initial thoughts on this: there is powerful writing. The story is good. A very, very awesome story. They have interesting characters, interesting premise. It has really good gameplay. Gameplay is usually for RPGs. Gameplay gets very stale. A lot of people don't like RPGs because the gameplay is, you know, quite monotonous, very grindy, right? Maybe this is more for like the genre of like JRPGs, but I feel like it's you know, it can be translated very well into these types of games. However, this game kind of just shoots that out of the window. Has very, very unique mechanics, as you can see with that ice little thing, that opens that door. It just, you know, it has that beat 'em up feel as well. And I think the thing that impresses me the most about this game is really the unique ability trees. The ability tree in this game is the best I've ever seen in a video game. And the reason why that is all the elements that you have are unique, and they always will have a purpose inside the game. A lot of the times in an RPG, what will happen is you get your strongest ability, and you never use your old abilities again, right? And it's just like a strict upgrade. However, in this game, every ability sort of has its own deal, and own use, right? So for these electrical signal, whatever those things are, um, they have to be used with electricity. You see right here, we have to use fire to melt the ice pillars. We need fire to solve that puzzle right there. And so there's like a fire region here, right? And then the next one, there's like a warp. We have the beam ability, and that will help us with the other one. You see, you can swap abilities, and you can transport yourself, right? Or you can transport objects. So, yeah, and then they're used very, very creatively to do different things. So you're basically like the avatar. You collect these 4 different elements, and you get a giant skill tree. I don't think we're ever going to open up a skill tree here, but that skill tree gives you some very, very cool abilities. I think my favorite one was the ice one. The ice ability just created a giant blizzard that dealt tons and tons of damage. So, but yeah, you have those 4 different abilities, or you can be neutral. One of the things is you can't actually spam your abilities, because using too much of an element will, or using too much of any element will start to overload you, and you can't use an ability after that. So that's a cool limiting mechanic. Otherwise, you just go ham, right, and won't be very difficult. But yeah, I think my favorite of the elements, I believe, it was the electricity one. You move really fast, and you do a lot of damage. There's that one ability where you slam into people with like electricity, and you like hit them multiple times, and you're like Killua from Hunter x Hunter. And it's like you go Godspeed, which is very, very satisfying. But yeah, skill tree unique abilities is the name of the game here. I do not know why I'm trying to send a electric orb on a warp cube crystal here. But pretty much overthinking it. But yeah. Another thing is Leia, right? Leia is sort of a masterclass on how to write a silent protagonist. I've played actually quite a few games where there's like a silent protagonist, right? There's like Byleth in like Fire Emblem. Like all your Pokemon games, basically. But, you know, as the silent protagonist, there's not much personality to them and whatnot. And it's hard to express when you only have facial emotions, right? Omori is another example, right? But I think this game, it does it the best. It is one of the best at creating a great silent protagonist. Leia's... So whenever she talks or she signals, she has this text box, and it has her face next to it, right? And she's very expressive. She has limited words, right? Because her voice mod is broken or whatnot. And so she has to express her ways in, you know, different ways. This might be mostly mute, like her expression, characterization. It's done very well, and it makes her feel very human, right? As sort of ironic as that is. But yeah, Leia, great character. I really enjoy playing as her through, and I think we are solving question mark the puzzle. Nope, didn't get far. I think this puzzle took me like an hour, so I guess it's a good thing to talk over this. And honestly, we should probably like not just ruin the puzzle. We can look at some of the fighting here. Yeah, so electrical abilities, very, very cool. So like each enemy here has like a different element to them, and they are like strong and weak against different elements, and you gotta keep swapping to beat them. And the system's very cool. You can also inspect them, right, like right there. I guess we're just gonna be watching ourselves play for quite a while for these. What are you fighting here? This dinosaur guy, if I remember? Failed Rhino, right? So it says that he's 25% weak to fire? Or was that electricity? But yeah, look at these abilities. Very, very cool. So every time, you can just kind of look at what they're weak to. Breaking enemies, also very satisfying. But yeah, the combat system in this game is like very, very well done. It is very satisfying to play and requires skill to beat. But yeah, let's talk about some strengths about this game. We already talked about this best combat system. It is both complex and feels good to use, and that's exactly what you want to have in a combat system. I'd say that this combat system is even better than Hades. And that is saying a lot because Hades has one of the best combat systems in... We will be talking about Hades later as well. So, like, interestingly enough, it is just really, really good. Also, some of the puzzles in this game, like the one that we just had, very, very well designed. One of the best in the industries in puzzle design. You may not realize this, but it's actually like very, very difficult to design a good puzzle. To where both the player feels like they've got the aha moment and it not being too easy or too hard, right? Striking that weak point, or not the weak point, striking the point at where it is satisfying to solve while not being too easy and not being like really annoying and you had to know this or whatnot. But yeah, it's taking me a very long time to beat this guy. I don't know why. I guess this guy just has a lot of health, but yeah. As for the story, I remember there's like really good side quests in this game. Right, as well. The story is very, very good. I won't really spoil anything about the story, but just know it was good. It was good. All right. Let's talk about some weaknesses while we're here. There are weaknesses in this game. It is not the perfect game. No game is perfect, but the number one gripe, I think I've every time I had this problem come up in this game, it was my biggest glaring issue every time. And that is this 2D, 3D perspective of when you're traveling in the game. And I think I want to just show you, actually. Let's see. Let's see here. Is there a point where we're traveling around? Okay, so here, we'll stop the combat here for a second. We'll look at some of the traveling. Okay, so here's a late game region. Okay, we see that all these areas, right? So let's just take a look right here. This one's a pretty bad example because the land is pretty flat and whatnot. But there are just some areas of the game that, like this right here. This is an example right here. You see this area right here? You can't, the elevation, because it's a 2D space and you're trying to create 3D elements out of it, you can't tell on if this is the same plane or not. And it took me forever to figure out you can actually get on some of these areas because, like, is this the same plane? No. If not, I just jump off and then I just fall over and I have to do the puzzle again. So the connections of where you can jump, it was very unclear at times, right? Is this the same plane as this one? I mean, this one looks kind of a little higher than this one, right? But yeah, it's not made very clear sometimes, and you know, you're trying to navigate around the world. The world itself is basically a puzzle, right? You're trying to move from area to area. As you can see, I just fell off right there. But the jungle region is probably one of the most difficult regions to navigate, especially with all the water and lily pads that they had. But sometimes you're just fighting the game. You're trying to figure out how to get from place to place. So yeah, that is the one glaring issue with this game, and I don't know how they could have improved upon it, right? So one thing I learned throughout the playthrough is you just shoot to see where you can actually jump. So if they're on the same plane, the fireball does not come back, obviously, right? And I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just being an idiot, but yeah, maybe it's just a skill issue, but maybe like I don't know how to remedy this issue. It's just an innate game issue that is very, very difficult to solve, right? I forgot this game has pets. You had the little cat that follows you around. Yeah. But yeah, that's the main weaknesses. The game length is actually quite fine. I think we finished it in like 70-ish hours. I think this was the DLC right here that you're looking at right here. So, this plus the DLC together was a good chunk of the gameplay time. And I think I'm searching something up here, but yeah. Anything else to talk about here? Like, a lot of one-way gates. The map is so intricately designed, and exploring it is both a blessing and a curse. There are some aha moments on how to get to different places, and there are just some places that are like, how on earth do you even get there? And it takes forever. But is this Leah's theme? Oh, it's traveling together. Okay. We'll talk about music when we get there, but as you can see, there are the 4 elements there as well. Ice, fire, electricity, and wave. Shock and wave. All right. Also, I think hopefully all this music is kosher and not DMCA-able. This is just straight up desktop audio because I do want the music to end up in the VOD for any VOD watchers, but there is a chance where it might not end up in the VOD because it is DMCA for some reason. But anyways, hopefully that does not happen. All right, let's move to what favorite moments. Favorite moments, I think, is when you learn. Okay, that quest, that boss quest. I think I did some research on it. It's that computer guy, and the name was "Don't Use This" Spot quest, and it was basically like a glitched area. And you have to travel through this glitched area, and it was just the most memorable side quest. It was a very late game side quest in like the bottom of the desert or something. And in it, the NPC actually teaches you a tech on how to jump very horizontally, and it's called the JDAC. It's jump, attack, dash, cancel. And before that, you did not know about that. It isn't required to beat the game by any means, but it makes your life easier. It does help you with a lot of jumps in the overworld, And it's just very satisfying to jump very far. I think I tried it a couple times, actually. We saw some earlier as well, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't exactly know what I'm doing here. I'm just walking around thinking about stuff. Sure. But, yeah, that is probably one of the more memorable quests. Again, the main quest, the story is amazing. I won't spoil anything about that. Yeah. I won't really talk about the story beats to remain like semi-spoiler free. But as you can see there, did you just see that ability that I just did? Holy moly. Like, look at this late game ability. Just observe. Okay, so there's a laser, right? And then as I get my energy back, oh, it's just another laser. Wait, what happened? Oh, like this? Oh, there we go. Oh, wait, never mind. I think I just spammed laser, but that ability right there, my god. Like, look at that. I love when combo sequences end in, like, that slow-mo. Like, look at how much energy we have. Watch. And then we go in. Boom, boom, boom. Hit him with that. And you just dunk on them. Like, these late-game fights. Ooh. Like, look at that. Oh my god. These rain meteors on people. Incredible, incredible stuff. I forgot actually how the energy mechanic works. Like, why did I have so much energy there? Yeah. I think a lot of the enemies are here just weak to fire. So, oh, we're farming. Yeah, I remember. So, there is a little bit of farming in this game, for like the rare drops and whatnot. So I think we were farming these cores here, and yeah. There's some wave abilities there. That's pretty cool. Anyways, all right, let's go into the next topic. Favorite character? I mean, come on. If your favorite character is not Leah, you have no heart. She is the precious daughter. I want Leia to be my child. She is awesome. Very, very expressive. And yeah. Other characters that were good. Emily, right? Emily is the first rambunctious friend. Kind of reminds me of the rival in Pokemon. Pearl. Right, Barry. She has the same energy. Your tech support dude, I forgot his name, but he helps you throughout. There's some really nice interactions between him and Leia. Right. Of course, there's Apollo. That guy will forever haunt my dreams. But you know, he serves his purpose in teaching you how to fight, I guess. But yeah. Let's talk about some other things. Next one, favorite area or level. I think my favorite area level was definitely the. I think I like the jungle. The rainy, that rainy city inside of the jungle, and that city had a lot of cool stuff. Okay, just look at what is happening on screen. It is glorious. But if a game, wait, no, let's focus. Let's focus. I remember the first time we went into the jungle, we were like, where is the save point and the big city? And it was literally right in front of you. It's that giant region in the middle of the forest, which is kind of funny because I explored the entire forest before I went to the city. But the world is like, as you can see, is very, very expansive, right? Very large, lots of items, lots of ways to get around. Some of the overworld areas literally takes like 30 minutes to get from one area to another, right? You're going from platform to platform over like 6 or 10 different screens, and you just get lost anyways. You make one false move and you have to go all the way back, which is definitely frustrating, but very cool, you have to admit. But yeah, other areas, Autumn Falls always very relaxing, right? Not so much for the hedgehogs, but has a very autumn vibe. Leafy orange. Yeah. As you can see, I'm puzzling good here. Oh yeah, also it's like there's an auto jump system, so when you're at a area, you can like jump to another platform on the same plane. It jumps automatically for you, which got some time to okay, we can pause right here. Just look at how expansive this world, this map is. It's just very, very large. Very, very cool. Yeah, I think we were just definitely farming for some late game loot item here. Trading a bunch of stuff in. We had a bunch of traders. But yeah, let's talk about the favorite tracks of this game. Okay, so let's look at the... Let's look at the music real quick. The most memorable one is Leia. Where's Leia? This one. It's a very soothing melody and really fits Leia's personality when she's not farming, of course. All the music in this game is actually quite good. Original. What's this song? Back away. This regional theme is very good as well. Guy's Garden. There's Shizuka's theme. This one's also really good. Is this the fight against Shizuka? It's just good. Very awesome. I think there's some DLC tracks. Of course, this one's the classic. Ah, yes. The sound of hedgehogs dying. I think we did the most farming at probably Bergen Trail. Killing snowmen. I think I farmed everywhere for stuff, but... Sounds good. This was the beach one. Beach music's always great in video games. I love the beach vibes. Ooh, that flute. It has those metal drums. What's the ending theme? The ultimate experience. You know, one thing I will say though, is that some of the bosses in this game, um, some of them were quite good, but I don't remember them being like particularly memorable. Like, who was the final boss of the thing? I mean, we won't reveal it here, but it wasn't like, you know, the big part about the... Oh, I remember who it was. It's just like the in-game game boss, right? So, but yeah. Okay, I think that's kind of sort of wraps up our talk on Crosscode then. Crosscode was a good game. And let's actually go to the tier list real quick. Crosscode. Crosscode is... Wow, we've been talking about this for way too long. I think a good 30 minutes, but it deserves it. It deserves it. Let's... I think... From my perspective, it is a 9 out of 10. It is a very incredible game, and it deserves all the praise. It could be one of the best, like, true indie RPGs out there. Its combat, its story is good. But yeah, maybe it's a skill issue, but the only thing that really held it back was that perspective thing, and it's not even something that can, you know, is the fault of the developers. It's just the art style and whatnot. So, anyways, easy all-timer, and it deserves its praises. I feel like this is a cult classic, for sure. For those who know about it, every single person who knows about it loves it, and for a good reason. It is a really, really good game, and Radical Fish deserves their players, for sure. All right. That was Crosscode. let's talk about the next game we played. So, game of the month in January was Crosscode. The second game that we played was... Let me boot up the playlist real quick. All right, oh. Let's move it back here. Persona 3 Reloaded. And let's just listen to the music here. Eesh, the vocals. Should I even show this last one? I shouldn't full show the final fight, right? I want to show some footage of it. Of both Arturus and I feel like there was some streams in this where it was just solely Tartarus dungeon crawling and then no events. All right, this one's good. Where's the quality so terrible? Alright. This is Persona 3 Reload. This is the remake of the original Persona 3. And came out this year. And I never played the original Persona 3, so don't really have a big frame of reference, but I have played another Persona game, and that one tends, and the only other Persona game I played is my favorite game out there, and it's Persona 5 Royal. So I had very, very high expectations coming into this game. Let me turn down the music a little bit here. But yeah, what can I say about this game? Let's do a head count real quick. You save the world as high schoolers against some eldritch horror. Check. Absurd combo move cutscenes, as you can see here. Check. Built-in dating simulator. Double check. Like, it is truly a game of all time, and a good one at that. It's just your typical JRPG. Let's be real here. If you're not a teenager and you're not saving the world, you are not playing a JRPG, right? There's a mix of strategy, cutscenes. The story is actually quite dark, despite the attire that may suggest. And yeah, it apparently, according to a lot of people, it does do justice upon for the original. fixes a lot of quality of life, and does help with a lot of the graphics and stuff that made it better. But yeah, it's everything Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl didn't do, and that's a good thing, because those were the shittiest remakes I've ever seen in my life. But Atlas did it right. Again, having played Persona 5 Royal, the bar is just too high, right? I think in this game, the story was actually better than Royal. And it's, while I do like a lot more of the aspects about Royal, Persona 5 Royal, Persona 3's story, I think, is the one defining characteristic that makes it a lot better, and that's probably just for my like tastes. I do like darker themes, and it does reflect that in this story. Right. There is a DLC of this game that came out a couple months ago. I have not played it, but it is from Aegis's point of view, or Aegis's point of view. Aegis is one of my favorite characters in the Persona series, in fact. She is awesome. She's also my... I do have a picture of her up sometimes when I don't want a webcam. But, yeah. One mechanic that was really good in this game was like the catch-up mechanic. A lot of the times in RPGs, you will find that some characters will be so drastically over-leveled compared to others that you won't use them. And to fix this, what they have is this like cycle thing that appears sometimes, and it allows you to boost two characters tons and tons of levels. And it's kind of funny because some of them were boosted so much that they were over-leveled compared to the people that you were actually using. So, pretty funny there. Something else. As you can see that right there when we beat the enemies, there's something called shuffle time. And this is kind of makes it for like the roguelike experience. You can choose a card after each battle, and it will increase your thing for the run, right? And they'll disappear once you leave. And yeah. Again, think about this. Just the music is amazing, right? Yeah. Let's move into some of the strengths. This has a great story, graphics, character. The strategy was very straightforward. There's some cool elements in it. But a lot of the battle cutscenes were very well animated, right? There's some very crazy stuff that happens. Let's see if we can actually see Aegis's abilities. Aegis has some of the coolest abilities in the game. Her Orgia mode is awesome. The UI is very pretty. Very clean UI. Music is top notch, and it's very unique, right? It has a very unique style. So they have like the rap and hip hop type of deal going on in Persona 3 compared to the jazz in Persona 5. Overall, I think the music in Persona 5 is better, but certainly not bad in this game, for sure. Another strength is, again, Aegis is in the game. She's the best. Look at her. I think she just missed. What happened? Oh, she dodged. Of course. Just what you'd expect at Aegis. Can we watch Aegis attack, please? She just blocked it. Nice. I think she's getting CC'd. Also, there's some CC that's really annoying. Oh, here we go. Swift Strike. One more. I mean, a lot of the time the strategy is just spamming your best move. It's an RPG, right? So, you only switch it up when you have to hit target weaknesses and stuff. Yeah. Let's talk about some weaknesses of this game. There are certain events, I feel like, that would lock you out of characters living. They would die. No spoil. I wouldn't say any, like, spoilers, but Junpei's quote-unquote girlfriend died in our run when we forgot to give him flowers or something. And it's just like a 1 or 2 day event where you can actually buy those flowers, and you missed it, the story, you don't get a good ending, right? Which, you know, that's life, but kind of sucks. And another thing about this that really separates it from being a better Persona game is that the bosses in this game specifically were very forgettable. They were just all these, like, formless goo monsters that they're not very memorable, to be honest. Yeah, I'd have to, like, when in Persona 5, when you fight a boss, man, you remember that boss forever, right? Like, who cannot forget Shido, or forget the infamous Okumura boss, right? I think I can still name all of the bosses in, like, Persona 5. And in this game, I don't remember any of the bosses except for, like, the last one, maybe. So, they really had no characterization, right? There's also, like, this villain group called the Striga. Are they called the Striga dudes? Dude, no one remembers them either. I don't remember what plot developments they had. I guess they were just bringing about the end of the world or something, but, like, what exactly did they do? I don't remember. Alright. But yeah, favorite moments here? So there is this, so I was doing, like, some research and reading through Reddit or something, and there was this really crazy physical build that basically, like, stunned every time, and using that was the most hilarious thing ever. It was absolute broken, and I think it involved using Siegfried, and he had this physical moveset that was nuts. And let's look at some, oh, here's Overworld. Very, very fun build to use. And I think we cheesed the Reaper doing that. The Reaper is that crazy boss, super boss that appears sometimes when you're taking too long. And, yeah. The other portion of the game, which is like the dating simulator, daily life type of deal, one of the best parts was, when Aigis breaks into your room, to guard you, and she basically just stands there watching you sleep. Not creepy at all. And hanging out with your buddies, studying with them, was always a good feeling. There's also that character who had that terminal illness, and he was trying to write a book. That was what was his name? But that was a very, very well-written character. Yeah. Favorite characters? I mean, let's be real here. It has to be Aigis. Oh, also, I think we dated Yukari, by the way. Aigis was too late in the picture. Also, that scene is kind of weird. We'll move on from that. Yeah, I guess I think is the best written character in the game. She's a robot, but she's a very human robot. And like she's a robot and she's sitting next to you in class. All the other girls are jealous of her, and then she's like failing all her classes because she's designed for combat and not for like academics, which is kind of funny. Favorite area and level? That would probably be like the final scenes. After you beat the final boss. Kind of spoilers in this game. You're basically Jesus in this game. You just eventually die. But in the final scene where you're visiting all the people for the last time, fulfilling the promises and whatnot, it was a very cool moment. Also, ya boy. Why am I blanking out on his name? This guy. He was also one of the amazing characters. Shows up for a couple rounds. Has a soft heart. Cold exterior. But he is one of the best characters. Very, very cool character. Absolute Giga Chad. And now let's talk about the music. As you can hear from the music that's been going on for a while now, the songs are pretty good. Color Your Night, amazing song. I don't think it's my favorite, but it's one of the top 3. I think we heard It's Going Down Now a little bit earlier. This one's also really good. And I think my favorite song of the soundtrack is Changing Seasons. Weird pick, but we'll take a listen. Thumbs up, another day goes by. Look at the time fly. Deep down. Oh. So this is played, I believe, during the second semester, and it was like when you had free time. And it was like a different vibe compared to the last one that they did, which is very, very cool. Also, you get to play as a dog. How much more can you ask for? Alright. The track is almost done. We'll finish the track. All right, so overall rating, I feel like Persona 5 just colored. The bar was just way too high, but and you can definitely see some of like its old mechanics, and it's a good remake, and I'd like to put it about like a 7 out of 10. It was not a bad game by any means, and the music is a banger. So, yeah, what more can you ask for? Yep, we'll put Persona 3 in good games. It is a good game. I wouldn't say it's like the best game I played, but it's definitely, I definitely enjoyed it nevertheless. I think it's probably the weakest entry of this year, but that's not even its fault, because like, look at the stacked lineup that we played this year. Next year will probably, or this year will just be as stacked. But yeah, that was Persona 3. Okay, let's move on. Oh my god, we're like an hour every 2 games, so we'd be done in 6 hours. We probably have to speed it up. All right, what was our next game? Hi-Fi Rush was our next game. Let's boot that up real quick. Okay, so this is the one that I'm concerned about for the DMCA. So if the thing goes out in the VOD, then it is the fault of Hi-Fi Rush. All right. There we go. All right. All right, let's put it on the background. Talk a little bit about it. So this is Hi-Fi Rush. It is a game developed by Bestilda. And so this is no indie games by any means. Bestilda is a big company. I think it's a relatively big company. But this game is good. Like, if you like... Oh, shoot. If you do like rhythm games, if you do like hack and slashes, you do like crazy characters, fun plots, story's not very deep, this is your type of game. Right, the plot is all way over the top. The music, enemies, also really good. Very well crafted. Incredible soundtrack. I feel like the story is very simple, but it's written well. Humor is very on point. I'm pretty bad at rhythm games. Actually, I'd say I'm decent at rhythm games, but this game makes you feel like a badass, man. When you're on beat and you are smashing these robots to pulp, it is a very, very satisfying feeling. And let's do some... Alright, there you go. So yeah, you can perform different moves, and they're all based off of like a global beat, which syncs your timing and everything. But yeah, you can even like dash to the beat, which is awesome. If we look at some of the strengths here, strengths, obviously the music, right? Music's very good. Combat is very satisfying, right? When you hit that perfect, it's kind of like a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, right? You get the timings down, got very flashy moves. Grappling from robot to robots. Okay, we're just hitting anything, dude. When you're grappling aerial enemies... Oh my god, what the... Why is the quality terrible? Maybe it's just shit bit rate, but... Um, yeah, it has a great cast of characters. When you're moving from robot to robot, like that, using the grappling hook, very, very satisfying. And the cast of characters are all really awesome. They're all based off of, like, some food. I think they're all food. Roquefort's a type of cheese, I believe. Yeah, a lot of characters are pretty endearing. Honestly, I thought Chai was a little bit annoying, but, you know, he is that main character. He provides us the energy. Let's talk about some weaknesses. Weaknesses are... one of the big things was that it is quite linear. There's, like, not really exploration. It's not an exploration type of game. Some of the moves are also very difficult to execute, and you don't use them up a lot, but that's just a skill issue, to be honest. But yeah. I feel like the difficulty in a level of game, there's a giant difficulty spike post-game, where there's just some insane challenges that we tried out. And it took us like a couple hours to beat one of them, so... and there's like 12 of them, I think. But yeah, I don't think we did not 100% the game, so... But... I felt like it was pretty good. But yeah. Let's look at the... Oh yeah, this is also the best scene in the game. Here you go. I think every Hi-Fi Rush player who has played the game remembers this scene. Also, your companion 808 is the cutest thing ever.
Her personal lift. I'll reroute it to the hideout.
You already know what's gonna happen here. The Pat seals the deal. Oh man. But yeah. I think that's pretty much it for Hi-Fi Rush. A lot of cool lore behind here, right? Vandalay stuff. My favorite characters in this game were probably like we can actually play this. Probably like Peppermints and Cinnamon. Those two were really good characters. 808, of course. Can't forget the cat. Cannot forget the cats. And yeah, favorite area and level. I think it's actually close to this scene. Wait. It's that scene where they're at the cafeteria. Or is this too late? Oh no, this is the final fight. I think it's a little before this then. Why is the quality so bad? Oh, it's this scene, I think. I think it was... No, it was right before here. Alright, this is the ability system, right? The ability system was pretty cool. Fighting the birds were always very fun, because you kind of stick to them as you're hitting them in the air. Oh, it's this scene. Yeah, this is one of my favorite scenes. Everyone's you're just mashing up a cafeteria where all the robots work. Very hilarious. You basically go Captain America in the elevator here. Also, a very cool thing is the fighting the robots. These final fights right here, you have to beat them with the beat. This one's like the easiest thing ever, but boom, boom, boom. All right, cut the tape, guys. Cut the tape. Cut the tape. Let's check out the. Whoops. This is my favorite. Okay, this might get DMCA'd, so I'm just not gonna talk over it. The Roquefort boss, where he turns into a giant wolf. This music, best in the game. I think it's actually here, right? Oh, here. I think it's this phase 2 right here, right? Yeah. And then he like turns into Wolverine. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go. You basically are fighting him in like Scrooge McDucks. Playpen. Anyways. But yeah, I think the final boss fight was also good. This one, right? We'll play why is the quality just like so garbage? The final boss fight? Where you battle Kale? Again, the music in this game, all original, all awesome. The final boss in this game is a very Star Wars-esque. He just goes lightsaber mode on you. Alright. We got the idea. We will move on from there. Enough of that. As for where it is on our playlists, or on our list of games, I'd say that it is a well-respected one. I think it's like the only AAA title on this list, funny enough. Which is kind of funny. I play a lot of indie games, I guess. As the only AAA title, it is the only one that really spoke to me. That is just not like regurgitated, normie stuff. So, great music, great, serviceable story. It has awesome characters, lots of action. Hi-Fi Rush. It's like a high octane beat 'em up. Beat 'em up rhythm game, right? So, But yeah, I would rate this probably around an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Fair rating. And I'd say it goes. I'd put it in the good games category. Probably higher than Persona 3 a little bit. Maybe we'll put it here. Yeah, we'll put it here. All right, because we gave this one a 7. We'll put Hi-Fi Rush in the good games category. Okay. You'll notice that on the tier list, there's not really any no good games. We only play good games on this stream, except for TFT. All right. Okay. Let's move on to the next game, and it will be Spiritfarer. Let me turn it up a little bit. It's a little soft. And just from the high octane of our last game, we have Spiritfarer, which is a very peaceful, relaxing, it's an emotional experience. Let's put some footage up. And it's funny how we have the most high octane game and we have the most chill game back to back here, but such is March and April. Basically, in this game, you are Karen's temp, and your job is to ferry souls that have died to the underworld. Main premise is to design the ship to keep everyone comfy, right? Builds new facilities, explore new islands, and you can learn like the backstories of why this is so loud. And you learn the backstories of all the characters that you meet. I'm just gonna give you a second to listen to the music. Isn't it amazing? Brongo, welcome. How's it going? Thanks for the hydrate. How's it going, Gort Tubbas? We're doing our anniversary stream today. We are going over all the games we played in 2024. We are going at a very, very slow pace. We have done 4 games in an hour, so... what was the best game of all time? We shall find out. We shall find out. But we're talking about Spiritfarer right now. Let's see. Where were we? So in each game we were talking about like the summary, strengths, moments, characters, etc. You can exclamation mark anniversary if you're looking for that. But yeah. This game, initial thoughts, very relaxing game. It definitely tugs at your heartstrings. Brungrate, happy anniversary. Thank you, McCall. Hope you had a good time. I think, what was Brungo playing? I forgot the name. It was that ninja game. I was, cruising around earlier. Hopefully you had a good stream, Brungo. Are you almost done with the game? Anyways, a lot on the docket today. Strengths of Spiritfarer. The story is just very, very good. Also has the good Stardew Valley type of vibe. You'd say you're probably halfway done. Ninja Fucker 3. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Totally real game. Spiritfarer? Yeah. This game's really good. The ship and story management is kind of like the Stardew Valley. You manage your resources, you manage your facilities, you get to build your ship. I think we're going back to the ship right now. Everyone's ship is their own unique masterpiece, right? Honestly, this is like, for me, it was a tiny bit monotonous at times, but once you get into the groove of things, it's not too bad. So I'd say that's one of like the main weaknesses. It's a little bit slow, but it's like intentionally slow. Also, it took me forever to learn that you can fast travel in this game. So it literally took me like 30 minutes to get anywhere. And then you realize there's a shortcut halfway through the game and you're like, oh, this game does not take forever. But it was a little too late. But yeah, I think learning about the backstory and optimizing travel from one area to another, like, you know, doing chores in a good way was the best part about the game. And yeah, learning the backstory of all the characters was also good. I think the best characters were probably Atul and obviously Daffodil. I mean, how can you not like Daffodil? I think this is like back-to-back cat games as well. There's 808 and then there's Daffodil. Atul was the best soul that you had to ferry. He's that giant toad? Was he a toad or a frog? That just liked to eat, and that was his defining characteristic trait, which was pretty funny. But yeah. Let's see. Favorite area and level? Probably the ending. The ending is really good in this game. You learn Stella's backstory and, you know, why she's doing what she's doing. And it was a very well-crafted experience, I'd say. As for my favorite music, let's see if we can find it. Where is it? I mean, it has to be the final voyage, right? Last voyage. There you go. We'll just listen to this for a little bit. It's a very emotional song. Piano's awesome. I mean, what's happening on the screen isn't really reflective of the music, but you know. Also, what's cool is all of these NPCs are these formless, hooded people until you like discover their backstory, and then they become like characters like this, right? So, good touch there. Wait, I think this is the introduction to it, right? Oh, Stella's Departure. This one. Hey, I created the soundtrack. It's pretty cool. Tomato pizza. I think the scene is actually later on. I won't show it for non-spoilery reasons, but... Love the ending with Stella paddling in total silence. Leave the player to fill in their own conversation that Stella is normally listening to. Yeah. One of the main premises of the game is Stella is like paddling these people, and they'd always talk about their lives and stuff, right? And when she's ferrying herself on her last voyage and it's her time to go, um, she just sits there in silence and lets you interpret it. So yeah. And this plays in the background, man. All right, I think that's enough for Spiritfarer. We will put this this game. I'd give it a good 8 out of 10. And I'll probably put it down in the all-timers. I feel like this is the story, and it's a very unique experience that really is not replicated anywhere else. And there are some games out there, but this one just does it exceedingly well. And if you do like Stardew Valley type of research management stuff like that, it is definitely a game you should try out for sure. And we'll put in the all-timers. It is a very, very good game. Probably at the bottom of all-timers, I'd say. All right, what is next on the docket here? Poke Rogue. Yes. Okay, so we were in April and May. It was the time of the Gamba. And if James is here, so James was actually the person who got me into actually the both of the next two games. And let me tell you, this game is very, very addicting. Oh, by the way, there is a version of... There's a vocal version. Not vocal version. I can't talk. I need some water. What's up, Lolo? Haven't played Poke Rogue in many months. I have not touched the game since June, so... I actually when I was doing research for this stream, actually, I pulled it back up and all my stuff was still there, and it was very laggy for some reason. I don't know why, what update they did, but it was just very laggy. So, anyways, let's talk about Poke Rogue. Let's put on some music. There we go. Alright, so I think this is a title sequence, so we'll listen to the playlist while we're talking about it. What can I say about this game? This game is, it is a game of all time. So, you know, this game smashes together the thrill of Pokemon battles, and roguelikes, right? Hence Poke Rogue. It's a fan game, so I'm not really surprised that there are a lot of bugs and weird stuff going on, but the way that it's implemented, it is really, really, really good. And it's all thanks to a lot of passionate developers. Also, let me mute this real quick. Nintendo Ninjas have not striked it down yet, so keep playing it if you do enjoy Pokemon and roguelikes. It's been 6 months now, as I mentioned before. There has apparently been tons of features. There's like balance patches, events, like in-game events, and other quality of life changes. So I probably will not be going back to Poke Rogue, but it was a very, very good experience. Poke Rogue was the most... I probably screamed this most out of any game. Because when I was growing up, I always wanted like a pure battle simulator. And it's basically you trim off all of the boring parts of Pokemon. I mean, the plot isn't like the worst part about Pokemon, but if you just only like battles and strategy, this is the game for you, right? We did a numerous amount of challenges in Poke Rogue 2. We did like the generation lock, We did like monotype runs, and now they actually has it as a feature for the game. So I did it before it was cool, I guess. I think the run here was all of my favorite Pokemon. It was a favorite Pokemon run. So, but yeah, the strength that it is Pokemon. If you like Pokemon, the game is for you. You collect, catch, battle. It's the essence of what makes Pokemon fun. Obviously, the weaknesses is there's just a lot of bugs. Very, very... what can you say? The performance, the servers are also quite unstable sometimes, but, you know, it's a work in progress. What can you say? Right. Let's play some more interesting music. So, like, most of the tracks are from Mystery Dungeon because the creator did like Mystery Dungeon. And so, therefore, Mystery Dungeon was the music of choice. My favorite moment was that there was a bug on the server where every single Pokemon was golden for 10 minutes before they patched it out. And I was actually playing during that time, and I was, like, flabbergasted of how I was meeting 5 shiny Pokemon in a row. And, yeah, that will never happen again, but... that was definitely my favorite moments. And there was also some clutch moments where we beat Ivy, right? Favorite character, you have to hand it to Ivy and Mega Rayquaza. Rayquaza has ended more runs than any Pokemon in history. Let's just check it out in all its glory. 195. Where is she? The AI in this game is actually quite good. It will blast you. Oh wait, we already beat her. What floor is this? 194. Okay, so yeah. So her Pokemon core is actually really awesome, and yeah. I really like the what do you call it? The Elite Four and Champion battles on like 180. Very awesome as well. But yeah. Obviously, the favorite track is the one where you're fighting when you're in the 190 zone, and you can just listen to this. It's the Mystery Dungeon theme, Sky Tower. It gives you that sense of achievement when you're being smacked down by a giant space lizard. And Azumarill's a beast. The game was actually quite hard because at the beginning of the game you're very limited on the Pokemon that you can have. You can only choose starters, and you usually don't beat it the first run. I think I beat it in the second or third run, but it was very fun to experiment around with different starter Pokemon. But yeah. If you like Pokemon, give it a shot. Alright. As for where this will be, this will... we will put Pokerogue in the bottom of good games, because it has room to grow exponentially as long as Nintendo does not shut it down. So, it's still the Discord server is still live. So, you know, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Okay. Let me get some water, and then we'll talk about the next entry, which will be The almost game of the year, Balatro. And, well, there's really only one song in Balatro, right? Let's pull it up. Ah, 20-minute loop. Perfect. More like Balls Satro. Hoggies. This game almost won Game of the Year, by the way. Oh, man. Okay, why don't we look at... Alright. Instead of having me play a run of Balatro, you still play it to this day. I still play when I have extra time and I'm on my phone. Balatro is a great time killer. Alright, we'll watch one of the best Balatro players, Balatro University, play this insane Balatro run. You can just watch it in the background. But there's some crazy stuff. Well, you can enjoy it while we're talking about it. All I'm gonna say is play it and you'll find out why people like this game. It is a roguelike game. You play poker hands to earn points and have jokers that modify your score, right? So you see all these jokers. Normally, you do not have 24 jokers, but some instances you can get up to that many. I think my highest record is like 10 or something, but this is just one of the crazy runs that people have done. They're on round 111. But yeah, like any roguelike, you die if you die once, you have to restart, right? The premise is very simple. You get a higher number. If there's an ante for each level, you need that number. If you don't get that number, you die. Very simple. But yeah, it's a very simple concept that's executed at a very high level. The game was made from a game engine called Love, and it is a very customizable thing. So there has been tons and tons of mods for Balatro. The game is good. I mean, I think we did a Pokemon mod last month, and it was very fun, but it crashed every time, so it wasn't that great. Wait, if you think about it, the Pokemon mod in Balatro, isn't that just Pokerogue? Same game, right? Same game. But yeah, strengths of this game, you see the big number, right? And Balatro University, do you mind actually playing the game and stop picking cards? Okay. There you go. So look, the ante is usually like a number, but in this run it was so high, it just says NAN. Can we actually see him play a hand though? So yeah, seeing the number go up is always awesome, and the core gameplay is really good. Okay. There is one weakness that I have to point out in this game, and is that there's only one type of deck that can really get through ante like 15 or 16, and it's just a mathematical issue. And the only way to do that is with this setup where you have the Baron, Mimes, Blueprints, and Red Seals, right? So Endless is very stupid, but all you have to do is get to ante 8 and you can check out, and you know, that's beating the game, to be honest. But as you can see, there's some crazy stuff happening. My favorite moment was when I predicted 3 outcomes in a row that was gonna happen. I think it was, I had Scholar, I think it was A, right? You want aces in your deck. And then my Oija hit all aces. It turned all my cards in that set into aces. And it worked out perfectly. There was also that clip of where my banana, it disappeared. And it's like a 1 out of 6 at the beginning, right? Disappeared. I bought it in the next shop. And it has a 1 in 1,000 chance of disappearing. And it disappeared. It was the craziest thing ever. But oh, I should add that to the spreadsheet. Hold on. The banana incident. My favorite character in this game is Jimbo, the Joker. He is like the only character. And my favorite area and level, that's probably the ante I hit blueprints. Every time I hit blueprints, that's my favorite level. And yeah. Favorite music. There is one track in this game, and there's a little history on how this track was made. It was made by, so Local Thunk, the developer of this game, he hired a Fiverr guy to make music for him, and this is the song that he came up with, and it's an absolute banger. It has the psychedelic casino feel to it, which was played at the Game Awards. We can watch it together. Look at this. Look at this. Crazy stuff. They actually played the song. Imagine being a guy like you hired from Fiverr, and it's oh wait. Oh, whoops. Oh, there was stuff going on. Oh yeah, here. Whoops, that was I was supposed to be showing this, but anyways. But yeah, you can see that this is not very representative of a normal run. There are just way too many. Like, what is going on here? There's like no numbers on any of the antes and everything, right? But let's watch the Game of the Year thing together. Where is TFT match? Dude, we still got like 6 games we have to talk about. Alright, let's watch this together. This was a Balatro at the Game Awards this year. Okay, I just want to point out, this is the most Giga Chad guy ever. Oh, there's also a flute guy as well. But like, look at this guy with the guitar. Holy crap. This guy right here, though. Oh, the flute guy was also a fucking beast. Isn't Balatro 18 plus? It is. This guy played like 6 different instruments. Anyways, alright. Okay. I don't even know how these runs even start. I think they start with like some legendary seed, and then they just have like, 547 Pluto cards, but anyways. Balatro is a good game. Go play it if you like gambling, I guess. It's not even gambling, it's just a high number simulator, so roguelike. Play it now. What do you mean play it now? Alright, Balatro. We'll put it at a... I think it's an all-timer game. It is such a legendary game for such a simple concept. We'll put it at the bottom of all-timers. There you go. Alright. Let's boot up the next game, shall we? Okay. The next game, I think this was our July game. And it is Big Modes. Balatro was robbed. You could get an argument for that, but Yeah. This year's list is stacked. I'm just saying I only play games that I enjoy and good games. So every year is probably going to be pretty stacked. So but this year especially is giga stacked. So the best game I've played, probably the last 100 best games I've played, like 12 of them here can easily make the top 20. So um the next one, it will be Animal Well. And it is the game from Big Mode. This is Donkey's new company, and this was their first release game. I want you to just admire the announcement of this game. Okay, we're gonna watch a little bit of Donkey. All right, here you go.
Hello, I am Funny Man Video Game Donkey from Big Mode Publishing. I am joined today by the creator of Animal Well, Billy Basso.
Hello, I'm Billy Basso, the developer of Animal Well. I've been working on Animal Well for over 5 years at this point, all alone, making everything that goes into the game, including the engine. I was trying to give people the experience of finding something new in a place they've already
Look
been
at
before.
Donkey.
Pretty much somewhere that's filled with puzzles that you would want to keep coming back to over and over again.
Okay. Hilarious, hilarious stuff. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about Animal Well. I'll put some gameplay out in the background. We'll put some music as well. All right, Animal Well. So I think this was the Turbo Late game, where we were bunny hunting. So you can just admire the scenery. What can I say about this game? This game it's so fucking good. The creator that you just saw, that's Billy Bassos. Billy Basso literally created everything in this game: the sound, the the animals, and believe it or not, this game is like, I don't know, it is like kilobytes, because it has its own game engine. It is very, very compact, and he designed a completely new, brand new engine for all of this stuff, which is kind of nuts. Um, I need to play more bad games because they're fun to watch. I mean, we can play bad games, but like, they better be short. um, I'm on a 1 game a month budget right now, and if I have to spend that budget on a terrible game, I feel like it's not worth it. No, like I don't think I play enough games where playing a bad game is really worth my time. If it's like a one stream thing though, I'm totally down. I'm totally down. We can have like a, I don't know, a bad games night or something, but there's really no point in, putting bad games down. Honestly, they're just more entertaining than anything, right? But yeah, initial thoughts about Animal Well. This game, it like, from the moment it picked it up, it was like, it just felt like the masterpiece type of deal. Um, it has, perhaps, I think, the most immersive world. It makes you really feel like you're in Animal Well. Um, and you play as this little blob, which I won't spoil what type of animal you actually are. But yeah, as you can see, there's some very cool Easter eggs here. That where if you rub your mouse against it, it will move the little plants on the top there, which is crazy. Also, someone figured out with those plants right there, if you shake your window, it will shake those plants as well, which is a crazy, crazy idea. Um, but yeah, the puzzles in this game are some of the most innovative. It's like a secret hunting game, so you hunt for secrets in this vast world. There are some puzzles. There is platforming. There are some boss fights, right? And they take very unique ideas. So all of your inventories are like toys. They are like yo-yos. They are like frisbees, right? And they help you progress through the world. I would go into this game blind, and you'll have a wonderful experience, especially if you like puzzle solving and, seeing how deep the rabbit hole goes. No pun intended. Um, Weaknesses of this game. Um, it's actually kind of hard to point out a very glaring weakness. Um, I guess if you do not like hunting for Easter eggs, you'll feel like this is a very short game. But if you do hunt for Easter eggs, it's actually quite like a decent game. I think it was like maybe like 15 hours total. Um, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to find faults about this game. It is a really good game. Um, but yeah, favorite moments. Is I let's see. I think I scrolled past it a bit earlier, but there's this fountain that has a some grass, and if you scan it, it's actually a puzzle. And I need to find it, but where is this thing? This room right here. This thing is actually a barcode that you can scan with your phone, and it gives you the coordinates that you need to solve the puzzle. It blew my mind. I scanned it on my phone. I know for some people it didn't work, but at least for me, it did. So it was like, oh my god, that is the coolest thing ever. But some of the puzzles in here are wild, wild, wild. And they can't even be solved by yourself sometimes. There's like that community puzzle. So, yeah, definitely my favorite moment. My favorite character, game design wise, is the bird. There's these birds that hover up and down, and they always follow your character. So let's say you move to the left, the bird also moves to the left, right? And sometimes they'll crush you. You can land on them to use as a platform to go across stuff. That the ghost bird is the coolest animal there. Favorite area? I mean, there is no single favorite area here. It is just very, very awesome, cool map. Maybe the ostrich areas, or the cat area, jungle area is pretty cool. But they're all overall all really awesome. But yeah, favorite music. I feel like Animal Well is not really about music. It's about ambiance, and there are some really cool places that have awesome ambiance. I won't tell you where this music is from because spoilers. But yeah, that was Animal Well. Amazing game. Go play it. If you have not played it, go play Animal Well. Animal Well, I think it deserves the top prize so far that we have talked about. And we're going to put it at the top of all timers. It is a very well-made game, and it definitely lived up to the hype as the first big mode game. And I am so excited for Donkey's second game, which may take another 5 years, but who knows? We shall see. We shall see. And if it's just as good as Animal Well, it will be another masterpiece. It will be another masterpiece for sure. All right. Let's go to the next topic we are going to talk about. And just from the soundtrack, you will hear what it'll be. Let's turn this up. Ah. Just from the 3 notes right there. Just from the 3 notes. Let's replay those 3 notes. You know you're dealing with Hades. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the iconic theme to Hades, and man, it's good. What can I say about Hades? Funny enough, I took actually quite a while to beat this game. I remember Brungo hanging out before, and he was playing Hades on my computer, and we were just hanging out. And I would play Hades on and off, and this game took me like 2 or 3 years to finish. And I don't know why it took me that long, but I finally got a chance to play it all the way through. And my god. Supergiant Games this is their best game, I think, by far. I've only played, I think I played half a Transistor, and I dropped it for some reason, because my PC wasn't handling it back then, but I might play Transistor this year. But Hades is widely regarded as the best Supergiant game, for a good reason. Look at some gameplay for it. I mean, it's your typical roguelike, but it does it the best. Like, it's sort of the mix between bullet hell, roguelike. The characters are all amazingly sexy. Zagreus is a beast. The writing in this game is incredible. I mean, Hades is the whole package. And I honestly have not met a person who has played this game and said it was boring. Cause it's just good, man. Strengths, like, there's a lot. Music, oh, the music is just, when you're beating up souls in the underworld and you are smashing these skeletons to a pulp, and this is in the background, it is satisfying. It is awesome. The gameplay is also really unique. Tons of weapons to choose from, amazing upgrades. Honestly, the only must-take upgrade is Athena. Athena is broken, and her reflect shield is the reason why I won the run, so you gotta play homage to it. Weaknesses, I don't know. It's kind of hard to find weaknesses, I guess. There's some annoying enemies, I guess. Maybe. I guess it's quite long, perhaps, for some players, but other than that, it's kind of hard to find a fault. Yeah, not really. Favorite character? I mean, Cerberus, Zag. There are so many good characters in this game, right? What other characters are there? Meg? Oh, Meg. Oh, Meg. Meg is the best. I think Meg is probably my favorite character in the game. You meet her most of the time in her runs, and she is just a mood. Favorite area and level? Honestly, I think it's probably first region. Is first region has the lava and stuff or what? No, this I didn't like the lava. The lava's probably probably Tartarus is the my favorite region. The other regions are a little bit annoying to traverse, but yeah. Favorite moments? I mean, the favorite moment is probably when I beat Hades. I mean, just the fathership himself. Like, look at him. Let's see. Like, it's just a badass fight. This final fight was definitely also my favorite moment because just look at how close this fight is. It's crazy. I'm spamming spears like an idiot here. Eating every one of the abilities. But I think my build was so strong that it didn't matter. Oh, I literally just died right there. Also, spear supremacy. I think my spear is my favorite weapon. It just has so much range. And when you're bad at the game, the spears help you out. I think he starts shooting his laser soon, right? I think Athena's the best god for all her boons. I think they're most consistent. Alright, here we go. I think I had 2 death to fight against him. Okay, now that I look back, it wasn't that close, but... Range weapon like the bow? Hey, what do you mean the spear is a ranged weapon? It's a melee weapon that has range, so it's a ranged weapon. I don't know, I found the bow the hardest to use. But, anyways. Let's talk about the best music of the game. I mean, what is there to say? The entire OST is absolute fire. No pun intended, but, No Escape is probably my favorite. It's just the main theme song, and it's a main theme song for a reason. I'm just excited to play Hades 2. I know it's already out on early access, but we will definitely be playing Hades 2 this year, so keep a lookout for that, and I'm excited to play it. Hades earns its rightful place in probably the best of the best. It is at the top. Good 9.5 out of 10, I'd say. It is hard to find faults for this game. It is amazing, amazing stuff. It's either at the top of all-timers or best of the best. Very high rating. Everyone has their own unique experiences as well. It's a roguelike. It's awesome. Go play it. Alright. We have 4 left. 4 left. And on a... I don't know why. I guess I just schedule my games this way. I have one very crazy game, and then I have one very chill game. Well, not even chill, but very different game, right? And the next game here will be Disco Elysium. Ah, yes, Disco. Let's put on the Disco soundtrack. Ah, you can hear it now, Rebeshol. I mean, what can you say about this game? It is just truly the best writing in any video game, period. Okay? It's hands down. In fact, I don't think there is a video game that has better writing than this game. It truly is transcendent on its writing, and if a if the best graphic novel had a video game, this is it. It is, missed much of the playthrough. It's probably a good thing. I get into it closer. Oh yeah, you haven't played a Disco yet? Okay, well, there's not too many spoilers, right? What's going on in the background, so don't worry. It's, but, there's a lot of reading in this game, okay? It's a visual novel, so if you don't like visual novels, you're gonna find it quite boring. But the twist is, Disco presents this not just as a novel, it presents it as like a D&D experience. So you have to roll to continue the game, and you roll dice to pass checks and to like open things, for example, or to dodge something. You have to roll stuff. And so it's basically a amazing visual novel paired with D&D, which is very, very unique. The writing in this game is by far the best strength that it has. It is the one defining characteristics of why people like Disco Elysium. It is like it is art. I was watching some other people play this, and they were mentioning it. It's art, and it is art. This is video game art form. But yeah, weaknesses, again, if you hate reading, and you know, you don't like long walls of text, you're not gonna enjoy this game much. But it's still something that I think people should experience. But yeah, favorite moments of this game? Man, that's hard to pick. Honestly, meeting Machine Head was definitely an interesting moment. I think that guy was literally was he a communist? I don't remember, but he's basically that big guy you meet at the docks. But the game reads stuff to you? Yeah, I mean, it's still a lot of clicking, right? It's still a lot of clicking, but favorite character? That has to be Kim. Kim is, you know, Kim is an awesome character. And he's the guy with the glasses right there, by the way. He is a very human character. He feels beyond human. He's just like the definition of what it means to be human. He has his faults, but he is a very loyal, he's supportive of you, most of the time. He's funny, and he's a great partner. So, amazing stuff. Very, very well written character. In fact, I think most of the characters in this game are just incredible. Their background, their stories, their personalities. Kuno is hilarious, right? Yeah. There is no favorite characters in this game. All characters are very awesome, very unique, have their own flair. Favorite area and level? I mean, there's only really one region. It's Revachol, so it's the entire map, I suppose. It's all one area, but it's very, complex area. I like all the secret passages in the game. There's a lot of secret passages. Those are my favorite area levels. Obviously, I will not spoil them, but, but yeah. Favorite music? It's probably that one that we just played. It's just the thing that plays when you're walking around. It's called the Instrument of Surrender. Music in this game is also amazing. Someone has described this game as Inside Out for adults. And I tend to agree with them. This is it's like the detective that you play as, Harry. He has a lot of stuff going on in his mind, and you can pick different builds and you can do different things. So yeah. Disco Elysium soundtrack, I might add a lot of these songs to my video game playlist. I don't know why they're already not in my playlist, but they will be now. They will be now. In fact, I will do that right now. Oh, I can't right now. We'll do it later. But yeah, that's Disco. As for where Disco goes, it is truly the best visual novel in the market, and I will put Disco Elysium right between Crosscode and Spiritfarer. Personally, I got lost in a lot of the philosophy stuff. Maybe I'm just too stupid to understand what's going on, but some of the stuff that they talk about is very complex. They talk about, like, what it means to live as a human and stuff, which is quite complex. Just talks about, like, how you should govern, different political parties, communism, fascism, all that stuff. I still remember that after a couple of months I played Disco Elysium, and I was watching the election on Hassan's stream, and he was calling someone out for being a Disco Elysium character, because he was saying some really stupid shit in chat, and I was just laughing my ass off. But yeah, Disco Elysium, it is a game that you probably should play at some point in your life, and it is well worth the play. Alright, let's move on to the next game then, and it will be the glorious Tunic. Okay, I'm gonna go right off the bat here and say this is my favorite game that I've played this year. And I feel like this is just like it's a transcendence experience. I don't know. At least I enjoyed this. This is my favorite game. I mean, just look at the shirt that I'm wearing. I have this shirt just because of the stream. Or not because of the stream, but for this stream. I also have... Someone bought me the Tunic guidebook as well. So I have this nice field guide that is actually in the game, and it is awesome. Um, but yeah, what can I say about Tunic? Everything. It's the closest thing to a masterpiece that I have experienced, and it's probably my second or maybe even first game that I've ever played. Let's put up some. I literally don't have footage of my favorite game, so we're gonna just put on pirate software, I guess, in the background, and you can watch him explore and stuff. But what can I say about Tunic? This it's just think Zelda, right? You are it's an adventure game. You explore as this cute little fox. The world is completely in a different language. What that means is that nothing is explained, and it is up to you to discover what is in the game. See, the only thing that is really like in English is like, you know, absolutely necessary stuff. And so when you do discover something, it is very, very satisfying. And this is like the Metroid, I guess, Brainia genre, like Animal Well, Outer Wilds. It's kind of like an archaeology type of deal where you have to discover everything yourself, and I love those types of games. It's presented in a very cute, low poly game, where you play as a fox and you're going on an adventure to do things. The combat in this game is, I would say, is like maybe the weakest portion of the game, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. If you think about it, the game is sort of like a Hades plus Animal Well, so it's the two best stuff that I like about video games: exploring stuff and fighting stuff when it's not like ridiculously difficult. So it puts together the sense of exploration from Zelda, crazy puzzles like an Animal Well, where you discover secrets, and then it has like Dark Soul-like combats, and you know, it's the whole package. It's blends it together amazingly. Also, by far the most prominent and probably the most talked about thing in Tunic is the guidebook. The guidebook is it's basically like an instruction manual that you slowly have to piece together by finding pages in the overworld. And it's very unique in the sense that you basically are told no instructions, and your job is to figure out how to play the game. Reminds you of that feeling of paper guides that come with your games, for like consoles and stuff, back in the day. Like when you're playing your DS, or your Game Boy, right? You buy games, they have the little manual that comes with it, and it kind of feels like you're piecing it together, right? So, it's a very sense of satisfaction, and it really hones in on that nostalgia. And yeah, that is by far Tunic's biggest strength. I think it makes it the most unique part of Tunic, that guidebook. There are tons and tons of secrets inside of that guidebook that you can discover, and they help you understand the world. This game goes so far as to create another language. I had a guy stop by my Tunic stream and teach me how to read the language, which is crazy. He made like YouTube videos on how to read the Tunic language and stuff, which is absolutely wild. But yeah, favorite moment of this game. I don't know. There's so many incredible aha moments. What was the coolest secret that I found? I mean, I think my favorite moment is that corrupted save file. That if you exit into the main menu, there's another random save file, and it gives you the hint for one of the paths on the Golden Road, right? That was probably my favorite one. And discovering like interesting things on the manual was also really cool. The one weaknesses is the only one weakness I can point out about this game really is its combat system. It's a little wonky at times, and the Souls-like thing, the stamina stuff, is kind of annoying. Because I didn't never play Dark Souls before, so the stamina system of how to beat stuff, it just makes the game quite difficult for people who just like puzzle games and Zelda, but it wasn't that bad, and the gameplay was still definitely enjoyable. Favorite character, I mean, you gotta hand it to Fox Bro, right? Fox MC. Very cute, very ferocious. But yeah, favorite area and level, I think it was probably the Ziggurat. I mean, the entire overworld. This area right here, Ziggurat, is very, very awesome. Oh, actually, no, the Cathedral. Yeah, this part right here, Cathedral, is not this one. This area right here is probably one of my favorite regions. Navigating is a little bit tricky, but the Cathedral has a lot of secret passages and very cool areas. There's also a very, very unique view that they have. It's called an isometric view, and it actually hides a lot of the puzzles, or not hides the puzzles, but creates a lot of secret passageways because they are on the opposite side. Like, for example, like right here, when you're at this corner, there is a chance that there's a ladder behind it, and there's like a very tiny detail that you have to notice to go behind it, right? So the view of the first time you realize you can like sort of shift the view from isometric to slightly top down to see a lot of your surroundings, like to see behind this bush right here, is very, very cool and a great addition to the game, and it was totally intentional. But yeah, this game is awesome. Like, notice how this is not even me playing. Whenever there's like some secret, oh, also the pray secret. That is also one of the moment you figure out how to pray. Oh my god, it is just incredible. It's kind of like in Spiritfarer where you sort of figure out the warp system. It has the same effect. It's like a quality of life change, a puzzle solving change that helps you understand how to play the game, which is awesome. Also, this right here, once you learn how to pray, you're going to be praying everywhere because you want to try to unlock something, right? And every Tunic player has tried this at some point, and so more the power to the player. Favorite music? I love the soundtrack. It is, again, it's sort of like the ambiance style of Animal Well, and I think my favorite track is The Night. It's the one where you fight your first boss. Let's see if we can find it. Where is it? Should be in the East Garden somewhere. Oh, also the first time you meet the shopkeeper, oh man, I was terrified. I thought I was gonna die. That guy's creepy. Oh wait, this is Siege Engine. Wait, you visit? Oh wait. Also, this is open world, right? So you can tackle these guys in pretty much any order. Yeah, it looks like Pirate Software got through most of the stuff. But yeah. I've actually heard this track before I even before I even played the game, and I was like, wow. It's that moment where you know the meme, and you finally see the movie, the meme is in, and you're like, wow, I know that song. I know that meme. It's great. But yeah, I think this is the best track in Tunic, The Night. There are so many tracks in this. There's some very creepy tracks as well. This is the Ghost Field track. The Hair. This is the final boss fight song. This song is also really good. Starlight Therapy. But yeah, Tunic just represents adventuring at its finest, and it is my game of the year. It is the best of the best. I love adventuring. I like new experiences, and this one gives you secrets to find, places to explore, bosses to battle. It's awesome. Go play it. Alright, there is only 2 more, and this was November's game. I've been meaning to play this game. Let's stop the music real quick. I've been meaning to play Fury for the longest time. I've watched friends play through this. I've watched streamers play through this game, and it is awesome. Just listen to its soundtrack. Oh my god. We'll watch the Game Baker's video on this, but it is incredible. Gotta go to sleep. Good listener. Happy anniversary. Thank you, Bronco. Have a good night, sir. But yeah, there's only 2 more games. We're just talking about Inscription and Fury. But Fury's soundtrack is, it is a 10 out of 10 soundtrack. In fact, I think this soundtrack might be, if not my favorite of the year. The music and the combats. It does 2 things, and it does the 2 things very, very well. And that's all you have to say. You play as Samurai Jack, and he has a laser pistol. And you are imprisoned in this very complex sky prison, and your job is to escape. Very simple premise. And what can you say? It is balls to the wall exciting. Each boss is very unique, for good or for bad. But every boss feels like they have something cool going for them. The game is quite hard, I'd say. Not the easiest of games. But satisfying, yes. You're dashing all over the place, hitting him with the sword. Very, very satisfying and awesome gameplay. That definitely, if you do like fighting games, this is the fighting game I recommend. This is not even like a full fighting game. I'd say like it's halfway between like a fighting game and like a bullet hell game. But regardless, very, very, very awesome game. The most satisfying feeling in this game is getting that perfect parry, and your character, Ryder, beats the crap out of the boss for parrying, and he just like slaps him to the ground. It is wow. Weaknesses of this game. Sometimes it's hard to know what's going on. And essentially this game is a boss rush. There are no levels. It's just boss fights, one after the other. So it's really dependent on whether the bosses are fun. And I'd say that most bosses are pretty good, except for really one. And that is the weakness of this game, and it is the burst. I think everyone who plays this game can agree that the burst is the most annoying boss fight in the game. Because half of the time you're not even fighting her, you're just trying to catch her, which is super annoying. But yeah. Other than the burst, I think most of the other boss fights are actually quite fun. My favorite, and probably everyone's favorite, is The Edge, and he is my favorite character. He has the quote. Oh my, hold on. Let me turn this down a little bit. Excellence is an art. Excellence is not an art, it is a habit. We are what we repeatedly do. And that cannot be any more true when you're getting your ass handed to you by his giant ass orb. So, the hand fight is also really, really good. The hand is this guy. No, not this guy. This guy's actually really annoying as well. It's the giant soldier who basically you kill his child right in front of him, or his person who's taken care of right in front of him. But let's see. I guess you can listen to the soundtrack. There's no commentary. So. Oh my god, this is crispy as hell. Can you believe this is 7 years old, I think? Boom. Oh, like right there. Look at that frame right there. Oh, most satisfying part of the game. Boom. But yeah, everyone's favorite boss is obviously this one. Boatman.
But you know what I could...
It's basically the one-on-one, 1v1 me in ARAM type of deal. Boom.
Nothing but your very best.
I want nothing but your very best. Oh. Like, this is like the this is basically the final boss fight of the game, other than the secret boss. But it just feels like that final showdown, Naruto versus Sasuke type of deal. I'd say the music isn't the best in this fight, but it is the best fight of the game. But yeah, the music is definitely one of the big highlights of this game, for sure. We can just listen to some of the soundtracks. The one thing that Fury kind of falls back on is there's basically no story. It's serviceable. It's just background information. So the point of the game is not the story, though. So you can't even blame it on the weaknesses. But if you were looking for some plot and some, I don't know, lore and stuff and secrets, they aren't there. It's just it's just a fighting game with great music, and that's all you can ask for, right? But yeah, favorite song is one of the final songs, actually. It's called... also, the music in this game is just pristine. They have, like, tons of different artists, like Danger, Toxic Avenger. It's like a collab of amazing music makers came together, and they just made a fighting game that is really good. And we'll play one of the best ones. It's very short, but it's... Man. Oh, this is the scene that it actually happens in. Hold on. When he's blasting off. Or it's an ending, right? There's actually two versions of this song. There's a good ending and a bad ending. I think we got the bad ending because we didn't want to fight the secret boss. This song is like the definition of epic. And then, watch what happens at the end. I think it just... Oh. Oh wait, this is not the one. So you can watch the blast off scene, it's pretty cool. That white tone is just... Ooh. Chills. Chills every time. Alright. Is there any other ones that's... Make This Right? Toxic Avengers also? It's good. Oh, this one's a remix. Make This Right? This one's, I think, is an iconic one that a lot of people like. It's by Toxic Avenger, I believe. Yeah, Carpenter Brut made a lot of the songs here. Wave Shaper, Lorne. I don't know the other two. Scattle and Night. Crazy lineup. Yeah, absolutely banger of a soundtrack. And the fighting in this game, awesome. I think I like the combat system in Fury better than in Hades or two. It's probably the best fighting game that I've played in terms of combat. The parrying system is very, very satisfying. You're Mine as well. Good song here. Whose sound is this? I think it's the first fight. All right. We'll stop it at there. Go check out the Fury soundtrack. It is a banger. It is very good. Probably the best part about the game. Music. It doesn't matter how many times you get rolled by the bosses, as long as the music is in the background, you'll feel like God. All right, and with that, the final rating for Fury will be right up there in the all-timers. I feel like this game deserves its slice, and we're gonna put it right in front of Disco right here. Fury was incredible of an experience to play, and I'm glad I finally got the chance to play it. All right. Oh, there's only one game left. And that is Inscription, our latest entry. And let's pull up that soundtrack real quick. All right, we'll start off with my favorite songs. Let's talk about the music real quick. I always love talking about music. Music is one of the reasons why I play video games. Music is the heart and soul of a lot of games, setting the mood right. Without music, it is, the gameplay has to be so good where it is, or it just doesn't have to, music makes a game better, but it cannot make a game good, right? And in fact, the last entry, the Fury's music is just so good that it deserves praise on its own. But Inscription also has great music, and you can listen to my favorite song. It is disturbing ASMR. But it has a cool beat to it. Definitely creepy vibes. So for Inscription, we started this on Halloween, and we ended this in December. So it was kind of hard to find. A time to finish it. But it was our Halloween special, and we finished it in December. Yeah, this game is good. Basically, it is in 3 acts. First act is you are trapped in this cabin with this murderous person, and you're playing cards with them. The card game itself is very well designed. Very fun combat system. If I would show that, that'd be great. Okay, so yeah, you can also explore the cabin, right? So you're basically playing cards with this guy and having a good old time. Very unique mechanics in the card game, I'd have to say. You have to sacrifice stuff to play stuff, at least in the first stage. And to play cards, they have their own cost, their own attack. Very unique effects. Most of them are animals. And yeah, very unique mechanics, I'd have to say. One of the coolest mechanics is that Inscription's actually like a roguelike. Every time you lose, you get to create a card. So, better PR here. I don't know if that was a card that I created, but you get to create your own card from the cards that you had. And you can create some disgusting cards from this mechanic. And it basically is the way that you get stronger in the game. So you have these cards that replace garbage cards that don't do anything, which I think is Inscription's strongest and most innovative tech that they threw in the card game sphere. As a person who's played like Hearthstone, a bunch of other random card games, that is the coolest mechanic about Inscription for sure. Very creepy ambiance. You're in an escape room in like a cabin, right? There's like escape room elements. There's like puzzles you have to solve around the cabin, and shown a little bit earlier, right? And the strength lies in it. It's just a good card game. Good card games, good puzzles. It also has some of the most complex lore of, I think, almost all the games that we've played. The lore goes deep, very, very deep. You're trying to figure out why this game exists, and what all these weird. They show you all these like weird videos in between, and a lot of crazy stuff like that. So, but yeah. Generally, it is a consensus that Act 1 of Inscription is way better than Act 2 and 3, and I have to agree. Act 2 was alright. Act 3 was kind of weird. It got kind of like repetitive, and not even hard competitive, but repetitive, but a little bit annoying at times. So this cabin feel is probably the strongest part of the game. But yeah, favorite moments. The fourth wall breaking in the third act, though, is very, very awesome. There is that time where some of these bosses would basically dox your computer, and I remember it doxed my PC and accessed all the files on it, and I had to delete different files like in here based on how big they were, and it did damage, which was hilarious. It also infiltrated your Steam's friends list and made them bosses, which was absolutely hilarious. I forgot the boss's name, but it was very, very disturbing. But yeah. The weaknesses is it can be a little bit lengthy at times, a little bit boring, a lot of nothing to do. Once you get a card going, you just use that card and it beats the boss usually. And sometimes, like, the power-ups, you oftentimes don't even need to be used. But there are some pretty bad cards as well, and you never use them. Gek is OP, though. Do I choose Gek here? No way, I didn't choose Gek. That's crazy. But, yeah. Favorite characters? Probably, like, the Stoat and Goobert. Those are pretty cool people. Goobert is the guy you meet in the bottle. You learn how he got created later on in the game. A lot of lore stuff happening in the background. Yeah. Favorite area, definitely the cabin. Act 1. Very exciting stuff. The Leshy fight is very memorable. And, yeah. Speaking of the Leshy theme, it's the one that's playing in the background. I already mentioned that the Trapper is my favorite track in the game. There's also this song, The Final Duel. This one's alright. There's a robot that tries to take over the world. Pretty terrifying. Alright, Golly has her own theme. Golly's, I think, the boss that pulls up a internet picture of a mole, and she gives you like cards from other people, which I found very, very awesome. But yeah, I think that settles it then. That is all of the games that we played this year. Final thoughts and writing about Inscription. I think Inscription is a good game. Is it an all-timers? I think it barely makes a cut. It's a very, very awesome experience that everyone should experience. But is it an all-time game that will be remembered? Maybe. We'll put Inscription up here. I'm actually down to put Spiritfarer. We'll make it a 10-10. I think Spiritfarer is a good game. But I felt like we'll put it here. I think this is a good placement for everything. But yeah. That was 2024's games of the year. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the stream. It's only 3 hours, but I feel like everyone deserves their spot. I had a hard time choosing between Tunic, Hades, and Animal Well, and Hades would probably either go here or here, maybe. And these 3 games are probably the best games that I played. Funny enough, Tunic is kind of like a mix between Hades and Animal Well. Not really, but some of the concepts do intersect at some point. But yeah. This is the list for this year. And hopefully we can get a lot more games for next year. It's probably still going to be a game of the month type of deal. I don't have that much time to play video games, so it will be, trying to figure out what's the best game to play for the month. So we shall see. But yeah, Tunic, Hades rounding out the top. Animal Well could be in the best of the best. If you want to make it like very top 3-ish. Crosscode, Fury, Disco Elysium, Balatro. These guys definitely make it to the all-time list. Though they are very, very amazing games that people should play. And of course, these games are at the bottom here. By no means they are bad games. It is just too stacked in here, and having to choose a favorite among these is really, really hard. So they will round out the good games of the year. Okay. All right. So that is pretty much the list for 2024. For 2025, what we will actually be starting for January's game of the month, we will be starting a game that I have been meaning to play for like 4 years now, but never had a chance to play. And that is Hollow Knight. We will be starting Hollow Knight tomorrow. It is widely regarded as one of the best Metroidvanias, and I still have not played it. So, tomorrow we will begin Hollow Knight as our first game of the 2025. And 2025 will probably start off with a banger. Hollow Knight is, from what I've heard, is a lot of people's favorite games. And hopefully next year when we make the same list, it will be very similar. Awesome. All right. Let's play some music in the background while we finish up here. Let's play some other video game music. But yep, I want to thank everyone for hanging around. And thanks for a great year. Thanks for everyone who tuned in and watched any of these random games. or if you're a TFT addict, you know, when I played TFT. But yeah, I always have to have a place in my heart for Crosscode, which got me Anniversary. I streamed 2 or 3 days of this game and immediately became affiliate. There's a cult following of that game. Half of the time it was due to Brungo raids, but Crosscode just deserves its fan base, and sometimes people would just come in and talk about Crosscode as well. So we will be doing this every year at the start of the year, and we'll give a review of the year that came before it, which is very nice because it's a good year-end review type of deal. So yeah, thanks to anyone who's watching, and have a good night. We'll end the anniversary stream there. Hollow Knight tomorrow. We'll start that up. And yeah, enjoy video games, people. Go out, play one of these games. I love talking about video games, and hopefully you will enjoy playing one of them so you can also talk about them with me, hopefully. All right. Good night, everyone, and see you tomorrow. I'm actually just gonna send you guys all off to Candy here. Read. Let's see here. I think she's playing some Destiny, so we'll rate her. Good night, everyone.